From this point forward, all Ring of Honor matches will now have a 20 count on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, our opening contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
20 count.
Introducing first, be accompanied by Shane Hagedorn and Bobby Dempsey, Philadelphia, Washington. Weighing 207 pounds, he is representing Sweet and Sour Incorporated, Davey Richards. His opponent from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing 219 pounds, Jerry Lynn.
That's it. No Jerry. You wish. This guy belongs in the retirement.
November 8th, 2008. Ring of Honor is back here in the Toronto area. We're at the Markham Fair in Markham, Ontario, Canada. Collar and elbow tie-up here between Jerry Lynn and Davey Richards to get things started. Dave Prazak joined at this time by Lenny Leonard.
A very hard kick to the arm by Davey Richards, who is not accompanied by Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney here tonight, as last night as well. Sweeney did not make the trip. Some people say problems with the airlines, and some people say he just wanted no part of coming to Canada.
The word on the street, from what I have heard, is that Larry Sweeney feels that the Sweet and Sour Incorporated members could get the job done on their own, watch one another's backs. He gave them the game plan here this weekend in Canada, but he does not need to necessarily be here physically in the corner of his men. So Davey Richards will battle a former ECW world champion in Jerry Lynn here in your opening contest to try to put a stop to a little bit of the momentum that is behind Jerry Lynn here in his return to Ring of Honor during the past several months. And, everyone's saying he's still got it. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it is.
Still has the ability to be a player here on the top of the card in Ring of Honor.
Well,
this is professional wrestling.
This is the opening contest. Let's see if he can pull out the win here in the opener tonight.
It was very impressive in his victory against Delirious last night. And Davey Richards had a little bit of help from his friends Eddie Edwards and Shane Hagedorn as he picked up the victory over Roderick Strong last night in Montreal.
That was a hard kick from Davey Richards, doing a lot of damage to Jerry Lynn. He's back on his feet, but Ooh, able to fire back with a boot to the midsection of his own. Set into the ropes. Staying on his feet. Ooh! Spat right in the face of Jerry Lynn.
Oh, Jerry Lynn is not going to take that kind of disrespect lightly. Gets the head scissors. Takes Richards down into the corner, right back to his feet. Drop kick. And out to the floor goes Davey.
Lynn out to the apron. And wipes out Richards.
The fans here in Toronto on their feet, supporting Jerry Lynn. Once again, fans remind you there is a 20 count out on the floor now in Ring of Honor matches. The athletes need to be very cognizant of the officials' count when they make their way outside of the ring. Outside of the ring is Shane Hagedorn accompanying Davey Richards to ringside again here this evening.
I am a big supporter of this 20 count addition to the rules here in Ring of Honor because it keeps the action inside the ring where this could end at any time, including right now. He's going for the DR driver, trying to butterfly those arms. Get that butterfly brainbuster, but Lynn was able to effectively counter the maneuver and get a quick pin attempt of his own. Going for the cradle pile driver. I don't think either of these men have necessarily softened up their opponent yet to the extent that they can hit one of those finishing holds.
Well, Davey Richards coming out on the short end of that exchange in the corner, missed both the chop and the kick, but did not miss that knee. Right to the midsection of Jerry Lynn.
Without a doubt, Davey Richards is at the top of his game after spending several months competing in Japan at the direction of Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney, who assigned Davey Richards to Pro Wrestling Noah duty for several months, keeping him away from Roderick Strong and away from active competition here in ROH. He has returned since that excursion to Japan, and he is in the best shape of his life, and his wrestling game is really fine-tuned after battling against the top stars of Japan for that period of time.
I certainly have to agree that Davey Richards has never looked better inside the ring since signing with Sweet and Sour Incorporated, and the several months he spent over in Japan certainly have picked his game up to a new level. He's in the best shape of his life. He is certainly in control of the matchup, or at least he was for the moment. Dragon screw leg whip by Jerry Lynn, who's right back to his feet, steps over, looking for the sharpshooter. Can he turn him here? Yes, he can.
The sharpshooter applied.
Oh, but he changes it up.
Still has the legs tied up, though, grabbing hold of the arms. Curb stomp from Lynn. I don't think I've ever seen the curb stomp from Jerry Lynn in the past.
Not that I can recall either. He drove the chest of Davey Richards hard into the mat. Give Richards credit, back to his feet. Step suplex after the boot to the midsection.
Quick recovery from that curb stomp. Jerry Lynn trying to change things up a little bit in terms of his arsenal tonight. But Davey Richards, you have to hand it to him. He's been able to absorb that curb stomp, but continue to fire back now, and he's back in control.
Well, when you talk about Jerry trying to change things up, perhaps nice clothesline there, hooking clothesline from Richards as he goes for a cover. Only gets two, didn't hook the leg, but when you've been in the business as long as Jerry Lynn has, you've put a lot of tape out there, a lot of things for people to study and pick up tendencies on things that you like to do. So at this point in his career, while very rarely you want to get out of your comfort zone, you like to stick to your strengths. Sometimes it would behoove you to switch things up and do some things that you don't normally do to give wrestlers a bit of a different wrinkle inside the ring and force them to adapt to something different they haven't seen you do before.
You know, the best wrestlers are always changing their style somewhat, adding a new maneuver, maybe taking another out of the arsenal to, you know, always stay one step ahead of the opponents who might have done a lot of scouting.
Right now, Richards has been one step ahead of Lynn for a fair portion of this matchup. He's got Jerry up on the shoulder. The backbreaker position instead just drives him chest first to the top turnbuckle. Has him upside down as he tries to mock the fans here in Toronto. Drop kick right to the back.
Precision drop kick right there from Richards. Cover. Jerry able to get that shoulder up. Richards with the snapmare. Gets him in position. Oh, hard kick. Connects right with the shoulder of Jerry Lynn.
Hooked the leg, but Lynn again able to kick out at 2. So once again, Richards having some issues with the fans here.
Needs to make sure that he stays on Lynn. He's a very determined wrestler. Determined to prove himself that he deserves to have a permanent spot on the roster here in Ring of Honor in 2008.
He's calling for the DR driver, waiting for Lynn to get back to his feet. Boot to the gut. Butterflies the arms. Lynn trying to block, does, down to a knee. Can Lynn do something out of this position here as the arm's still butterflied by Davey Richards? Both men struggling still. Nice reversal, boot to the gut. Forearm though, and a headbutt from Richards, rocks him off the ropes. Back body drop by Lynn. Right into a drop kick into the corner goes Richards. And quickly Lynn with a clothesline to follow up in the corner. Elevates him to the top turnbuckle, right hand. Climbs up, all the way to the top goes Jerry Lynn. Top rope Rana.
Able to kick out. Davey Richards trying to pull himself up by the ring ropes. Lynn back to his feet as well. Boot to the midsection, cradle pile driver. No, backdrop. Richards on top. Lynn turns it around. Back and forth they go. Both men getting near falls. Lynn bridges up. Trying to get the backslide. He does. Only 2.
Oh, not enough to hold him down. Chin breaker by Richards. Avoids the kick, does Lynn, hits the ropes. Alarm clock.
DR driver. Oh, he gets all of it. Cover. That's 3.
Here is your winner, Davey Richards.
Davey Richards with a big win in our opener here in Toronto, and he certainly looks as good as I have ever seen him, and he's got his sights set on a title shot, I would think, somewhere down the line.